Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Today's video is about my opinion on Thailand versus Malaysia. Which one is better? I am currently still in Malaysia. I was in Thailand for 7 months and I've been in Malaysia for 4 months now. And I personally like Malaysia better. Here's why. The rent in Malaysia is a little bit cheaper than it is in Thailand. Okay, believe it or not, as cheap as Thailand is, the rent in Malaysia is a little bit cheaper than it is in Thailand. Okay, so in Thailand, I had a 3-bedroom property and I was paying about $800, $850 per month. Out here in Malaysia, you can get a 3-bedroom property and you can pay about $700 per month. Okay. And so right now, currently, I was looking at an apartment. It was really nice, honestly. And it was it was 2 bedrooms and it was $570 per month. Okay. High rise. And, it also had like a pool and a gym. It was public, but it had a pool and a gym. So, just things like that. I shared a lot of content on my Instagram page about the places that I was staying in Malaysia, and they were so much cheaper than it was in Thailand. And honestly, to me, in my opinion, I also like the interior better as well. Like, mostly in Malaysia, they have high-rise condos. And so I really enjoyed those more than I like the housing in Thailand. The housing in Thailand is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. It's modern. It's up to date. But I just like the housing in Malaysia a little bit better. Okay. And I think that the rent is a little bit cheaper. So, Malaysia to me is a place where I feel it's like luxury on a budget. Okay. Like Malaysia is very luxurious. Like the views, the shopping, the food, everything is very luxury to me. It's giving luxury. But it's on a budget. Like you don't have to spend too much money to live the lifestyle that you want to live out here versus I feel like Thailand was giving to me more off the grid. So if you are a person that's looking for a more off the grid lifestyle or more like, slow pace, and it could have been just the area that I lived in Thailand. I lived in Chiang Mai, which is very slow. It's very, family oriented. It was very, quiet and things of that nature. So it just depends on what you are looking for. In Malaysia, I feel like this is, like I said, luxury on a budget. You can get all of the things that you're used to or that you want at a very affordable price. The next thing about Malaysia versus Thailand is that in Malaysia, you can use Apple Pay. Okay. So this might not be a big deal to other people, but that was a really big, like, green flag for me. Okay. Cause I love it when I can just use my phone, use my Apple cards, my Apple wallet. They also accept Google Pay. They accept Scan Pay. They accept, like the e-wallets, and you can use your actual debit card out here as well versus in Thailand. You can hardly use your debit cards. You have to get cash, as I stated before in a previous video. You have to get cash mostly in Thailand because they have different banking systems where they don't use, too many of the U.S. banks. And so you would need cash for most of your purchases. That is also something that I really appreciate about Malaysia. Okay. I have more access, I feel, to my funds, and I don't have to keep running to the ATM to take out my cash. I don't have to be running up these extra ATM fees or these international fees. They just have way more payment options if you ask me. The next thing that I can appreciate about Malaysia versus Thailand, and don't take it as I'm like just in Thailand, because I absolutely love Thailand. This is just a simple comparison video, okay? But one thing that I appreciate about Malaysia versus Thailand is the food. I love the food in Malaysia. It's so flavorful. They really know how to use those herbs and those spices. I feel like there are more varieties when it comes to the types of foods that's available in Malaysia. Like if you are, used to a Western diet and you want to experience, you know, more of what you're used to, you can find that here. And then if you want to experience other cultures, you can find that here. You can find Chinese, you can find Thai food here. You can find Indian food here. Like, you can find different types of cuisines here. And that's something that I really appreciate. And not only do you find it, it tastes amazing. So that is something that I really love about Malaysia. When I was in Thailand, I did like the food in Thailand. It wasn't as flavorful as it is out here. It wasn't nasty or bland, but it wasn't as flavorful. Like I said, out here, they really use those herbs and those spices, and those dishes are very flavorful out here in Malaysia. Okay. And it's just more restaurants that I'm used to seeing. Like, I've seen, you know, I've seen like A&W and Five Guys and like Chili's, like places that I have not seen in Thailand. And that was also something that was a bit refreshing to see, you know, just things that I'm used to. I'm not really stuck on like having a Western diet. I'm open to new foods and new things, which is one of the reasons why I travel, which is to try new dishes and new foods all over the world. However, it was just still a breath of fresh air to see, like, if I ever need to get something quick, I can find something that I'm used to seeing, you know. Mostly I cook at home anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But like I said, when I do get in those moods to where I want to order out, I pretty much like it better in Malaysia, the options that I have. Moving on, socializing. Now, this is a big one. I actually prefer socializing in Thailand. In Thailand, the people are so beautiful, okay? Like, they are so welcoming. They're so friendly. It's always a smile. It's always a hello. It's always like you can just step outside and it's always something to do. Like Thailand, the socializing is top tier, okay? I feel like in Malaysia, there isn't many things to do like it is in Thailand. Which actually works out for me because, like I stated, again, I don't come out that much. I am more of a homebody. I like to host in the home. So it's not really a huge issue for me. I feel like, you know, if I'm ever missing that type of socializing, I could just take a trip and, you know, go meet some new people or something. But for me, I do enjoy the socializing better in Thailand. There's much more things to do. I think that, you know, in Malaysia, they are more traditional and, with their culture. They do things a certain way. It's not really a lot of, unless it's just stuff going on that I don't know about. It's just not, as open to like partying and, you know, like the type of things that's going on in Thailand. They having fun out there in Thailand. Not to say that they not having fun in Malaysia, but you just I haven't personally seen that as much as I see it in Thailand. Okay. When I was living in Thailand, they had wheelchairs at the clubs ready for you to wheel you to your car because you're so drunk. Like, it's more fun going on in Thailand, I feel. Now I have been out in Malaysia. I have been to a bar. I've been to, like, you know, lounges and bars in Malaysia, and it's fine. It's music that I'm used to hearing. They do serve alcohol. You do have your drinks and things of that nature. You do still see people of color, and you do still have like people that you can interact with. I just noticed that it's a huge difference between the amount of things to do that in Malaysia than it is in Thailand. Like, Thailand is an event going on just about every day. There's something going on, versus in Malaysia, it just doesn't seem like it's so much going on. I also do feel like the people in Malaysia are very nice. I have not experienced any issues, but I do think still that the people are nicer in Thailand. Like, you know, in Malaysia, they will greet you. They will say hello. They are inviting, but not as inviting as they are in Thailand. Like, Thailand, hands down, that is the best experience I have ever had, being a foreigner or an expat, to where they were just so welcoming and so like, hey, you know, so happy to have you or whatever. And I just feel like Malaysia is not beating it in that aspect. Next, I want to talk about the views. The views in Malaysia are breathtaking. Okay, like, the views in Malaysia have me in a chokehold. I love the views out here. Like, it has to be one of the top 10 cities that has the best views. Like, I cannot get over the views in Malaysia. Now, Thailand has nice views as well. They have more so mountain views, especially like where I lived, the area that I lived in. They had mountain views that were just crazy. Okay. So it just depends on what kind of views you are looking for. If you're looking for city views where you want to see those beautiful lights at night and all of these big, tall buildings, then yes, Malaysia. If you're looking for more of a country, mountain type feel or, mountain views, then Thailand, I recommend would be the better option for that. Or you can find mountain views in Malaysia and you can find city views in Thailand. But I think that the specialty for Thailand is the mountain views and the specialty for Malaysia is the city views. And so I personally thought that I prefer to be in the country. Cause I'm such a homebody and I stay in the house. So I was like, I love it in Thailand. But now that I'm out here in the city with the city views, I cannot, I need these views. The views are breathtaking, especially at night. Moving on to shopping. Okay. Shopping in Thailand. It's great. I enjoy shopping in Thailand. They still have everything that you need. You won't come out here and won't find the things that you need. You're always going to find the things that you need. And if you don't see them in the stores, you can look on Lazada and Shopee and most likely it's going to be there. Now in Malaysia, the shopping, you can find everything in the stores and then you'll find brands, like I said, that you're used to seeing, Sephora's and H&M's and, Gucci, Louis, whatever it is that you're looking for, you're going to find it in Malaysia, versus in Thailand. I didn't see too many of those stores. You can find them here and there, but Malaysia, they're everywhere. There's a shopping mall. It's like there's as many shopping malls in Malaysia as there are 7-Elevens in Thailand. Okay, that's a bit dramatic because there's a lot of 7-Elevens in Thailand, but I'm just saying it's a lot of shopping malls in Malaysia, a lot. And then you can use your card again. In Thailand, I couldn't really find lashes, your girl couldn't find lashes. And I didn't like the way that they did nails in Thailand, the aesthetics and things like that. But out here in Malaysia, love the way they do my nails. I love it that I can find the lashes that I want. I love the aesthetics of everything about Malaysia. It's it's giving, okay? This is where I feel you can find more things. More things are accessible. Things are accessible in Thailand. It's just brands that you might not have seen before, their brands or, things that they make themselves or things like that. Moving on to the visa process. I feel like the visa process in Thailand is much easier and much more open than it is in Malaysia. In Thailand, I went and came and went as I wanted to many times. Nobody never asked me a question. Nobody ever blinked twice. I was doing visa runs, border runs, and I didn't have any issues at all. Never was stopped, never was questioned. You also in Thailand have many more visa options to choose from versus in Malaysia, the options to me are a bit limited. In Malaysia, you have to make a certain amount of money. Well, you have to make a certain amount of money in Thailand as well, but in Malaysia, the amount of money that you need to make is significantly higher than it is in Thailand. Thailand, I think, is more affordable when it comes to the visas and the process, and Malaysia wants to see a certain amount of income deposited into the bank account that is extremely high, with some of their visas. You can find other visas. I'm actually getting ready to apply for a digital nomad visa, and it's not that expensive. Now, for me and my dependents, my, price came up to about $600. So that's actually pretty reasonable. And they don't need me to have a huge amount of money. I just have to make at least $2,000 per month, which I meet the criteria of all the things that is required to become a digital nomad in Malaysia. So that is the visa that I'm going to apply for. However, in Thailand, as I stated, is many more visa options. And I feel like the process of coming and going is a lot easier. In Malaysia, when I left to do my visa run and I came back, they did ask me questions. Obviously, they let me back in. It's not against the law to exit the country and come back. But immigration was a bit more questioning, hey, their biggest thing was, where's your husband? It kind of shocked me a little bit. Honestly, I was like, where's my husband? I'm like, I don't have a husband. They're like, you don't have a husband? I'm like, no, I don't have a husband. I'm like, is that okay? And I understand it's a cultural difference. Out here, everybody got a husband, especially if you have children. And so to them that it's kind of concerning. And then it was like, well, what do you do for money? It's like suspicious. Like, well, how are you making your money? Because they're more traditional, you know, and versus in the States, I think that we have a lot more modern things going on where women are making their own money. Now, I could have gotten offended, but I'm not. I'm a very open person, and I understand that it's a cultural difference. So I didn't take offense to it. I just, you know, let them know what it is that I do for work and show them, you know, my proof of things, and then they let me through. Okay. So it just depends. Because of that, I feel like, yes, the visa process may be easier in Thailand. Obviously, in Thailand and Malaysia, it is up to each individual officer on how, you know, they want to deal with you. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not illegal to leave the country and come back. It just seems like Malaysia is running a tighter ship with that. So if you do decide to come to Malaysia long term, the sun is just coming out right now, right in my face. Okay. But if you do decide to go, to relocate to Malaysia, I think that you should plan to get a visa because they are a bit more tight ship with the visa running process. I don't think that they will deny you entry. I have seen people say, like, you know, they have just asked them questions. I think they more so want to know, you know, what do you have going on? How are you able to, they want to make sure like you're not doing any illegal activity, but I don't think that they would deny you entry. Now, I don't know though. That has not been my experience. I have never been denied entry anywhere, but I'm just saying if you want to stay long term in Malaysia or Thailand for that matter, consider getting a visa. Now, I always say this is just my experience. I'm not advocating for you to do the things the way that I'm doing it. I'm just sharing my experience. I usually do not get a visa. I usually just do the visa runs. But now that I want to stay in Malaysia, surprise, I am going to get a digital nomad visa, and I will share that process with you guys. If that's something that you want to see, just let me know in the comments and I will share that process with you of how I am going about to get a digital nomad visa in Malaysia. But yes, me and my children, we decided to stay in Malaysia. I was actually going to go back to Thailand. And before I could even have a conversation with them, they brought it up again. They brought it up multiple times. Like, are we staying in Malaysia? I'm like, do you want to stay in Malaysia? They're like, yeah, we like it better here. Like, even the kids like it better in Malaysia. Okay. So we decided to stay in Malaysia. So I'm actually about to rent out a space. I haven't rented out a space, yet, because I wanted to make sure that this was the place that we were going to stay. Because I did that in Thailand. I rented out a space and then we ended up going to travel around a little bit more and I broke my contract. And so I wasn't able to get my deposit back. I don't want to go through that this time. So I'm like, we have to make sure this is the place we want to be. So I stayed here for about 4 months, just renting out Airbnbs to see, you know, is this where I want to stay? And we love it here. We decided to stay. So we're going to go ahead and get us a rental property. So yeah, like so far, this is what I have experienced while living in both Malaysia and Thailand. And so I wanted to just give a quick comparison because a lot of people have been asking me like, are you coming back to Thailand? Absolutely. I'm going to be back to Thailand to visit as many times as I want to. But we decided to go ahead and stay in Malaysia. We really love Malaysia. Hopefully that visa process goes through, you know, the way that I need it to go, just so that I don't have to do the back and forth. You guys are the first to know. I am staying in Malaysia now and I decided to stay. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope I was able to give you some clarity and some insight on whether you should go to Malaysia or Thailand. I honestly recommend that you come out and you visit for yourself. Visit both places for yourself and do your own comparison because like I always state, what works for me may not work for you. Okay. And I personally like Malaysia better, but you might personally like Thailand better. I personally like the food better in Malaysia, but you might like the food better in Thailand. So it's all up to individual preference. And I just recommend that you come out here and see for yourself. Okay. At the end of the day, you can't go wrong with either. I love both of those places. Okay. But I just like Malaysia a little bit more. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. That last video that I did, you guys, I told you that I wanted to get monetized on YouTube and I was just getting started with that process. And I'm almost there. And that's just because of you, just because you like, you comment, you subscribe, you watch my video. And I am so grateful for you guys, because I would not be able to reach that quota without you. Okay. So thank you. Thank you so much. And I will continue to make videos like these and give you all the tea as long as you continue to support me. Okay. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure that you like, you comment, and you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.